Greetings, ghouls. Welcome to Deadsville Horror Talk. I'm your host, Ronin James, and to my left, the lovely Steph Infection.
Hey, Scream Hearts.
Tonight we're talking Scream 6, and it's going to be a spoiler-filled review, so get ready.
I think it gets a little bit stabby.
A little stabby. A little bit about us. I am Ronin James. I am a veteran stunt coordinator and currently director and producer here at Deadsville Productions. To my left, Steph Infection is my co-producer, partner in crime here at Deadsville Productions, and actress, dance choreographer, production manager. What else have you done? Wardrobe.
Quite a few hats.
Lots of hats for Steph Infection.
And tonight we are reviewing Scream 6, which if you haven't seen it yet, you can see it on Paramount Plus or in the movie theaters. It is the next installment of the Scream franchise. The survivors of the Ghostface killings leave Woodsboro behind and start a fresh chapter in New York City.
Sounds familiar.
A little bit.
Scream 6 takes place a year after the events of Scream 5, and we are following our 4 Woodsboro survivors as they have gone off to college in the Big Apple. Scream 6 is directed by the duo known as Radio Silence, consisting of Matt Bertinelli-Open and Tyler Gillette. They have done previous movies, Ready or Not, and they also directed Scream 5. Scream 6 is written by James Vanderbilt and Gary Busick, based on characters created by Kevin Williamson.
And we have some returning cast and some new cast. Returning, we have Courtney Cox as Gal Weathers. Melissa Barrera as Sam Carpenter, who we know from the last one is Billy Loomis' daughter.
Yep.
Yeah. Jenna Ortega, who's literally in everything now, I feel like. Plays Tara Carpenter. Jasmine Savoy Brown as Mindy, and her brother Chad, who is played by Mason Gooding.
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son, side note.
Found that out today. The only other returning one for all 6 movies, which I didn't know, and I guess you saw this, but Roger Jackson is the voice of Ghostface in all the films.
We also had Hayden Panettiere.
Oh yeah, as Kirby.
As Kirby.
Yeah.
From Scream 4?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. And then Dermot Mulroney is also in this. He plays the police detective on the case, and he's a longtime veteran actor. Probably
One of my favorite and most played out VHSs was My Best Friend's Wedding with Joy Roberts, which her niece is one of our previous killers. That's kind of...
See, for me, Young Guns, Dirty Steve would be my first Dermot Mulroney.
Never heard of it.
That's what, Young Guns with Emilio Estevez and the Western where they...
I know it. No, now I know it, but I've never seen it. No, I've never seen it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Have you ever seen My Best Friend's Wedding?
No, it's a chick flick and I have not watched My Best Friend's Wedding, thank you. I watch Westerns, Young Guns. No. If you've seen Young Guns, comment. Dermot Mulroney was Dirty Steve. Our girl Samara Weaving makes an appearance.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I found her appearance a little unbelievable, but hey, she's in there, and she has obviously worked with this directing crew before on Ready or Not, so you know, it kind of makes sense that they would bring her in and work with her again and give her that spot.
I think her part was very believable, unlike you.
We'll get to it soon because we're going to jump to spoilers quick today. All right, let's go with our first takes. We'll give our early no spoiler reviews. This is our first take. Ladies first, Steph Infection.
I'm always first. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought there were moments that I actually got a little teary-eyed at one point. And I went to, which we know when I get scared, I cover my ears because I don't want to hear what's happening. That happened about 3 or 4 times. Cool kills, cool shots, but a lot of issues that I was very angry at also, and I did not agree with. But overall, I think it was a lot of fun, and I'm sure we're in for more at some point because it's a franchise. It's its own world. So I liked it overall, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It was a lot of fun. I've watched it 3 times now, and the more I watch it, the more plot holes jump out at me. As I've watched the 3rd viewing, and I sat with you.
He's the worst person to watch a movie with that he's already seen.
Yeah.
It's not even just like, oh, wait, you gotta watch this part right here coming up. No, it's him cursing about something that's about to happen, and then
because
I have to
I'm
pause
piecing
it.
together, and I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't add up. So we're
I
going to
sent
get to
him
that.
out for a little bit. Let's say that.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in the non-spoiler section because I found even more to pick apart. If you saw my other reviews, I did the 1-minute review, no spoilers, and then I did 2 spoilery things I hated in my shorts, in my reels. And now we're going to get in depth, and I'm going to give you a lot more instances. We'll go to more clips and stuff like that, and I'm going to point out some more inconsistencies, which is going to make it sound like I didn't like the movie, and that is not the case at all.
No.
I really did enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
And it is a very fitting addition to the franchise. It was good to get out of Woodsboro for a little bit. It was good to get into New York, even if it was a little derivative of Jason Goes to Manhattan, Jason Takes Manhattan. And they make plenty of nods to Jason Takes Manhattan in this. Jason Takes Manhattan is playing on TV in one of the scenes.
I didn't even notice that.
You didn't catch it? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the film student, the young film student.
Oh, when he, in the beginning.
So,
okay,
that's Jason Takes Manhattan is
Didn't
playing
even-
on the TV in there, and there are some other nods and stuff as well. We'll get to some Easter eggs that were pretty fun in there.
Yeah.
And overall, it was a really fun movie. It's just that there is, and this kind of happens. There was stuff that pissed me off in the last Scream too. That I was just like, that's not even physically possible. And I know it's a movie, I know.
But the first, at least 3 that I can remember, 4 I'm a little hazy on. The first 3 I remember that it was actually still believable. There was a lot of it, even though there was comedy, there was believable.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I
kills, believable getting away and so on.
Yeah, and we'll get into why some of the earlier ones were a little more believable than what we just watched now. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. It kept me on the edge of my seat. The pacing was great. Like it, as soon as it started moving, it chugged along, man, and it just kept going. It barely let you breathe. I like that. This is like the 2nd movie in a row where it was just like, man, it's just like with Evil Dead Rise.
I know. I was just going to say.
It gets right into it and just goes, man.
That's they're not really comparable in the goes. But I will say,
I just meant that,
with
like
my
the
heart
tension
racing.
and everything is like they don't waste a lot of time getting to the meat of the story, and once they do, it just keeps rolling along.
Which I have to talk about too. We got to get once we dig a little deeper.
Yeah,
I got to get
sure.
into that.
All right. Well, yeah. At any rate, my first take is I really enjoyed it, and even though I'm not a fan of the ending, I will say that without giving a spoiler, I did not like the way the movie ended, and I had some issues with some creative choices made throughout. But as a movie, a popcorn slasher flick, yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I would definitely recommend watching it, especially now that it's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
If you have Paramount Plus, definitely go.
All right, Scream Hearts, if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to hear any spoilers, hit pause and come back to us later, because we are going to dig deeper right now.
I gotta say, I commend them for trying to do some stuff different.
Yeah.
In this one. Let's talk about the opening and the whole intro and opening and our introduction to New York.
With Samara.
Well, yeah. That whole intro with Samara weaving. So like right off the bat, the phone's ringing and they kind of give us a quick head fake at the right before as the company's title card fades. We get the sound of a phone ringing,
restaurant
and
or
we
bar.
fade in on a phone on a restaurant bar being picked up, and and then it pulls away from it like, oh, faked you out, haha! You thought you were gonna get Ghostface right off the bat, and we faked you out. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't far off because we pan down through the restaurant and we see sexy Samara Weaving at the bar, and her phone starts ringing.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was texting first,
Texting,
Reggie.
yes, correct, yes.
And it seemed like a dating app of some sorts where she's, texting and he's like, I'm lost. And immediately I was like, oh, this is a 2023 spin on exactly what would happen. And, she then he calls her, he's embarrassed.
He's lost.
He's lost. What does it look like outside? She starts, I'll go outside and wait for you. We see where this is going.
Don't forget, she also mentions during this conversation, because he calls her talking on the phone, and she mentions that she teaches, she's a
slasher film instructor.
She's like a student teacher,
yeah,
or something like that. Like not an actual professor, like a
assistant. I think she used
or something.
I think that's a word she used. Did that really bother you that much?
Yeah, it did. Mm-hmm. Assistant. She's like an assistant professor or something, and she teaches her courses slashers.
Yeah.
So.
Very fitting.
Yeah, very fitting, but also very head scratching. Because
why would you want to kill somebody like that? Or
no, well, yeah, I would. She's super hot and like.
Well, we know how you feel.
Movies, so why would you want to kill somebody like that? But no, I'm scratching my head because what happens next is a bit mind-boggling. I mean, I know we have to go through it because it's a movie and all.
This was actually
she just falls for this, like hook, line, and sinker.
That was very believable to me because I've been on the phone with some. Where are you? Okay, I'll come outside. Do you see me? Now I wouldn't have walked
down the alley.
Scary alley.
Walk down the alley.
But
scary alley.
That
down
was
to the
most.
Dumpsters. Hey, come on down. Did you see me by the dumpster? No, you don't see anybody. Come on.
That
man.
was a little bit, but she was also. You just don't think that you're gonna have like a serial killer like on the loose. So
yeah,
don't go walking down dark alleys, which is weird. Why doesn't anyone ever hear like people getting stabbed? I guess it happens. I mean, Jack the Ripper got away with it for how long?
There was a lot of Halloween parties going on.
That's true.
There's like people in costumes running around. That was the whole thing. It's like Halloween. This is all taking place around Halloween in New York.
That was really good.
So
I like
that's
that.
It's a good way to add to the possibilities for suspense and for like the cat and mouse game that they have going. Because now that was one of the things, like jumping a little bit ahead, so we'll circle back. But once the killings start happening and people are like, "Oh, Ghostface mask was found at the scene,"
everybody starts wearing
Ghostface masks. So now everybody on the street and they're running from Ghostface. It is a very good plot device to add a lot of tension and opportunities for scares. And so Samara Weaving goes down the alley and Ghostface stab. And she's our sacrificial lamb, our opening scene sacrificial lamb. Another thing that happened in the opening that we haven't seen before was right after he stabs the shit out of Samara Weaving, he walks away and takes his mask off, and we see the killer unmasked at the very beginning of the movie.
And what did I say? I was like, well, every Scream has a lot of killers, so it's always,
There's always
more than one.
True.
But it was very odd to see that not play out later. So
he was kind of he's like a dorky film student. We come to find out as we follow him back to his apartment. He's the one watching Jason Takes Manhattan. He's the one watching Jason Takes Manhattan when he gets back to his apartment, and he's a dorky film student. And we find out that Samara Weaving was his teacher, was his professor. He was in her class,
and that him and sounds like roommate or friend were killing people together and only doing it together. But he did this one on his own, and
so we get a phone call. The phone rings. The roommate isn't there, and the phone rings, and now we get
the real
killer. Yeah. Well, there's never a real Ghostface. Ghostface is just an entity, but this is
the final,
the Ghostface that we'll come to know for the rest of the movie, and he's playing like he's the roommate. There's a little cat and mouse over the phone there.
I'm using the voice changer just because I'm trying to practice. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and it's a good scene.
I'm dead in the fridge.
And the warmer colder game. We find out the roommate is dead in the fridge, head off, And then the big menacing Ghostface is on top of our dorky film student and gutting him like a fish and kind of repeating back to him the stuff that he said about killing Samara Weaving and turning that back on him. And it's a good scene. It's pretty brutal, pretty effective. All right, so we'll jump to the therapist scene. You wanna...
So Sam is not opening up to her therapist. He starts to push her a little bit. You got to open up to me, tell me. And then she kind of unbears her soul to him very quickly, where she is the illegitimate daughter of a serial killer. Her last boyfriend was a serial killer. She killed him, stabbed him, 22 times and slit his throat or something.
And shot him in the head.
And shot him in the head. But she's not there for that. The reason she's there is because she liked it, is what, the kind of what she said.
It felt right.
It felt right.
It felt right.
Yeah.
Because of the Billy Loomis.
And
the Billy blood.
Yeah. And then this therapist was like, yeah, I gotta, no, that's it.
Time to go.
Goodbye. We're done for the day. and, you know, she says, you're all the same. She basically, they're all kind of scared of her. Everyone's scared of her, and she's just trying to get some help. She leaves.
Yeah, well, the one thing we do find out here, too, is, and this is an important plot point, after the events of Scream 5, everything at first gets released, and Sam's like a hero because everybody said that that Richie was the killer, and Richie and his girlfriend killed all these people. Well, after somebody starts an online rumor that was all bullshit, and that Sam was actually the murderer, and that Richie was innocent, and it like picks up, and there's like this whole subplot of the whole like internet hates her, like they like destroying her character, and like she has a confrontation in the street with a chick that throws a drink on her and calls her a murderer in the middle of New York because you know her face is all over the internet, and everybody's saying, well, not everybody, well, slowly more and more people, and it turns out that the whole thing was started by one of the Ghostfaces. They started this online fucking smear campaign to get the...
And they make a note that it was very easy, because guess what? All it takes is one internet troll to spread some hate and some lies, and it picks up, because people like drama. So they want the conspiracy.
Well, people like to see heroes fall. People like that negativity. We experience it here firsthand. Oh, well, then we get the party scene, right? Then we're at the party, and
Tara's
drunk.
Yeah, and you know.
Yeah, Tara's at the party and drunk, and she's about to
go upstairs with a boy and her friends.
Not just any boy, man. This dude is Captain Date Rapist. I mean, he is.
They called him Date Rape, whatever is it?
Date
Frankie?
Rape Frankie.
Yeah.
Date Rape. He's got the pink popped collar.
Of course, he has a weenie
shirt,
name.
And he is like, oh, I got a bottle of Fireball upstairs. Of course, you've got Fireball upstairs, Chad. You should have been Chad.
No, there is. I know.
He should have been Chad. I don't know.
They did make a Chad joke at one point.
Yes, they did. Which
I enjoyed.
I did too. But he should have been. He was the Chad at the movie. Date Rape Frankie. Moving on, we start getting into some actual Ghostface kills.
Yeah, like instantly.
Ghostface in this was like super brutal, very physical, very angry, very violent. I liked him in this, much like Michael Myers in those last Halloween movies, right? He was pretty brutal. The Halloween Ends, like he was like moving fast, and there wasn't like, you know, he was like attacking dudes in the hall. Same thing with this. Like Ghostface is pretty brutal. He's pretty like efficient.
Yeah. And we'll say, like, after that party scene, we go back and she's mad that she made her leave and, you know, all that stuff for not kind of letting her be her own woman. Then they see on the news that the two film students were killed, and Sam wants to leave. She wants to pack up. She just wants to leave. Like, let's get the F out of here. Tara doesn't want to. I'm not leaving school. And...
yeah, her first instinct is to run. That's the protective instinct.
Yeah, because she knew exactly what it was, and guess what? She ain't wrong. Nope. So when Ghostface kind of like hits the ground running, what's our first? They go outside, and she sees her ex-dead boyfriend's phone number calling her.
So after, so we got Jason's... They learn on the news about Jason and Greg's death and the teacher Laura's death. And as Sam's preparing to leave, they get a phone call from Quinn's dad, and they found the license at the murder scene.
Oh, that's right.
So that's kind of how it starts.
And they're leaving the
Yeah.
check and see they're leaving the station when they get the call.
Yep. So as Sam and Tara start to walk to go down and talk to the cops, that's when they get the call. They get the phone call from Richie's number. It's the dead ex-boyfriend from part 5, Richie. And that's a hint. It's a hint. So...
Which I said, I was like, that's weird that it happened more than once, but okay.
Yeah, and when she answers the phone, it's Ghostface, and he's saying she's responsible for the murder spree and saying she's going to pay, and he's pissed, and he's going to make sure that the world knows who she really is, and then all of a sudden, he's right behind them. Ah!
Yeah. And do we think that there's more than one yet? No, it's still the beginning. Still just one, right?
Still just one.
Still just one.
And so then they go into the bodega.
Yeah, they're running away, and
we get our,
this is what
this is probably our first big set piece.
Which,
aside from the opening, is a nice little set piece, but this is a nice set piece here.
Basically, if you're still with us, you've seen it. So let's just say he came in and just started killing people left and right, and there was a lot of people in there.
Oh, the bodega was insane.
It was jam-packed.
And it was. Like that's where you see Ghostface is like, you're like, man, this dude knows what the fuck he is doing, because there are big ass men who step up right up to him when these girls run in and they're like, oh my God, someone's trying to kill us, and these guys and he is just like boom and taking these guys out with efficiency.
Shotguns, everything.
The guy pulls a shotgun from behind the counter and he ducks it, and of course, oh, the back door's locked, and the guy fumbling for the keys. Of course.
I knew he was dead.
Instead of, what kind of, you got a gun and there's a killer loose in the store. Don't fumble for your fucking keys. Go and stand in front of the girls with the fucking shotgun. Don't try and run out the back. No, get in front and fucking protect them, man. You got the fucking shotgun. Yeah. You have the advantage right now. But it's a movie, so they're not going to do that.
I will say, even before this, I was already annoyed, which I can appreciate it now, but I was very annoyed that he went in there, usually I feel like he's hiding and he's gonna when did he ever go into a fucking store and
he's in New York, and that's
I know, but that's what I was like, all right, where are we going with this?
So he goes into the bodega and takes everybody out and kills the fucking clerk with his own shotgun. So we get a cool little Ghostface with a shotgun couple scenes. And how'd they get out? Eventually, they trap them up underneath.
They kind of push the
cabinet, the
display.
Like the racks over onto him. They push the racks over onto him, and he falls back. Gun goes off. They run out. So.
And then
around at the back, and he gets away. Of course,
he gets away. Okay, the keys were locked on the guy that he killed's hip, but somehow within a split second, when they run out the door and turn around that quickly, he's out the back door. It's unlocked, it's open, and he's gone.
Yep.
And he just had a display case on him.
That fast.
I mean,
whoosh, Ghostface is a ninja. Poof.
At least in the first one, it was kind of things were. We had comical moments of they showed them kind of crawling away and stuff, and I don't remember the other ones how well it was, but this one.
So anyway, after after Ghostface gets away, Sam and Tara go to the station, and we get introduced to Kirby.
Yeah.
Reintroduced to Hayden Panettiere as Agent Kirby Reed now for the FBI. Agent Kirby Reed.
At 30 years old.
Yeah, which is fine. She's just a very small agent. Her and Jenna Ortega are only 5'1", so they're both very small.
Jenna seems smaller to me, but yeah.
She's like 5'1", I think is what it is. So they're both in the 5'1" range. And,
Very tiny.
Yeah, so there's some jokes made about Kirby being a young FBI agent, but still, pretty believable that somebody, the character, it's believable that the character would survive and then go on to...
And kind of push through and be,
follow up and work with the FBI as like a, somebody that hunts serial killers. That's very... Seems very fitting. So... we get caught up then with Gail as well, right? We get Gail and we find out about the book being written and...
Jenna Ortega's character, Tara, punches her pretty hard in the face.
She decks her. Gail slips the first one.
Yeah.
Sam throws one and Gail's like, ha-ha! I'm a little too fast for you, sister! And then she gets sucker punched.
Yeah. And it was a hard one, too. Or it's seemingly hard. But
it's hard as you get hit by a 5-foot.
And here we go. There's another trinkle of Tara can handle herself throughout the movie.
Yeah, Tara doesn't need her sister protecting her anymore. It's the theme, the recurring theme. So all right, so we where we go next here? Mindy gathers. Oh yeah. So then we have Mindy's little dissertation, where we break the fourth wall and get super meta, and we start talking about all the rules, and we're not in just
like
a horror movie.
Exactly.
And now we're not in a sequel anymore. Now we're in a franchise.
She is the new Randy.
Yeah, she's the new Randy. So where were we? Yes. Mindy's dissertation on the rules of the franchise that we will later on totally ignore because this movie just throws half of these rules right out the window.
Yeah.
The big one being the last one that she says, like, this is like, in a franchise, anybody could die. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone could die.
That's right. You started yelling, and I had to make you leave the room because you were.
This is a franchise.
The movie.
Anyone can die. No.
Only the characters.
No, only those introduced in this movie are going to die in this movie. Anybody that's been part of the franchise before, you're going to live. No matter how many fucking times you get stabbed, shot, pushed out a fucking window.
I mean, one of them could have died. Like, they killed Dewey last one. Like, what
and that was bullshit, too.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on the Dewey bullshit. I'm going to get to that in a minute, man. Oh, man. This is going to make some reels, too. I'm going to have to make some shorts and reels out of my Dewey rants and some of these other rants that I'm about to have. Because, I am all for equality and women's rights and all that stuff. But some things just break the laws of physics. Okay?
Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree. And I actually said this out loud, didn't I, while I was watching? Well, first off, man or woman, but I was like, that little person, I don't know who they were. And it was a man, the stunt person was a man, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But they were still thin enough that I said, even if they were huge, like we're talking like huge, a dead 6'2" body is very hard to pick up by one person and toss. Yeah, there's not a lot of people that can do that. Not a lot of people.
So we could jump to that one now.
Yeah,
Let's get to the Gail scene, all right? Because I'm calling bullshit. Bullshit. Here goes. This should just be a whole video on the bullshit.
We're just going to jump around. Let's just do it. Yeah.
We'll bounce around. I'll cut this up later. And
we like this movie, by the way.
It was a very enjoyable movie, so don't think this is me hating.
Should put a graphic where we're like, we actually like
Disclaimer,
this movie.
we enjoyed this movie, but so many plot holes, man.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the Gail scene and how 6'2", this dude is muscled up. This dude is yoked up.
Yeah.
Gail's boyfriend is swole. He is a swole.
They even made a point to say all those muscles save you.
Yep. So do you realize that is the Ghostface? The Ghostface is the girl. It's the girl Ghostface trying to kill Gail. She even says it at the end, in the reveal. She says, when I stabbed Gail, and I was stabbing Gail.
This is my only thing. Do we think that two of them were there? Like
they could not have been.
But the dad couldn't have been there, and he's the only one. He's the, you're right.
And the brother was with them.
Yeah. Yep.
He could not have been. That's why on the third watch, I was like, there's absolutely no way that is anybody but the girl, and there is no way she is... First of all, I mean, maybe she could get the jump on him and stab him, but she like grabs him and pulls him out. Like, there's no way she's even doing that.
She was taller than the person was taller than shoulders, and this girl is 5'2", 5'3". I mean, I'm 5'5", and that guy, I would have had to have went like this. Yeah.
So, and you're going to tell me this girl picked him up and threw him through that display case? Through that
or even grabbed him with a knife.
Come on, man.
To even pull him back. Like, it's that stuff that I'm like, no, this would have never... Now, if you never told us who was who, or did not show us that even the boy... Like,
Well, see, on the third watch, I definitely would have figured it out, because right before that scene, we see that the brother is with them, and that the dad is at the police station talking to them on the phone or something.
No. He's with them. They steal his car.
Oh, that's right.
All in the car.
That's right. They're all together.
And he's like, no, don't.
Yes, that's right. That's when we get the first hint.
I was like, why is he walking so slow?
Yeah. He's like, don't go out there.
Are you really going to steal a cop car?
We need to make sure that this is right. We can't just rush off. Come on, man. They just pinpointed Gail's fucking house on the GPS.
Right then, I was like, something's up with this dude. Something's up with this dude. But he would have maybe been more believable, because when they show Ghostface pulling him back, he's clearly as tall as this guy.
Yeah, no, he would have been...
That's like the only thing. The other two kids are a lot shorter. Like,
he would have been the one in the bodega, I would suspect. But he calls...
Yes, holding the shotgun.
So do we see him call her from the police station to come down, or is he just on a cell phone at the... Because then...
No, he calls.
Because they leave to go to the police station, and he's got to be out getting into... He must put his phone away from calling them to come to the station and jump into costume and go out and get to that spot.
I don't know. I think that's...
No, he's on the phone with the... Well, yeah, because he has to go and call them as Ghostface now.
Yeah.
He calls them as cop, and this is where it's all a little tricky.
Yeah, but you could get any of them to call as Ghostface with the voice changer, realistically.
Okay, realistically, but it has to be him that jumps out on them and tries to grab her, and she gets away, and he chases her into the bodega.
Probably.
Because he's the only
All
one.
of that doesn't bother me.
Because that girl ain't cocking that shotgun and just blasting dudes and taking out big dudes with knives in the fucking...
No.
Little girl ain't doing that, and neither's the son.
Those displays are about 5 foot, and there was at least another head on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that had to be the cop.
But I think of those things where I'm like, that's a tall guy, because you can see, you can just see.
Well, I mean, also in the Gale scene, we get our concussions that I have made my other short video about.
Go at it. Here you go.
So Ghostface starts off chasing Gale, and she runs to the counter, and she grabs a cast iron skillet. And if anybody has ever held a cast iron skillet or seen one or cooked with that motherfucker, that is a heavy, heavy object. That will kabong the shit out of you. And she kabongs the fuck out of him, man.
You would need a second. She
bongs him right in the face. Head, boom, head snap, and he goes down.
You would have a bruise, too.
There would be bruising. There would be, there could be a cut. You would have and I think you would have a concussion. I would figure.
Not necessarily. Not on the first one. No.
I don't know, man. I would think that thing's pretty heavy. Getting hit with one of those, the way she was like full on backhand bong.
No, it would not cause a concussion immediately. But let's keep going.
Your brain just has to rattle in your...
Exactly, but it doesn't always rattle, depending on how you're falling. So.
All right, but it could rattle from the frying pan.
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
somebody that just got kicked in the head lightly and had a concussion.
Yes, and I've also known people that fallen off like buildings and not gotten concussion. So
okay, but chances are you would be concussed from a skillet hitting you in the fucking head. Especially with the force that she hits him with on the backhand. She was like Billie Jean King on the backswing there, bonk, and he goes down and is not even fazed by it. And this is one of my biggest problems with the movie in general. The everybody just getting stabbed and hit, and nobody gets hurt. Everybody just pops right back up and keeps running. And I don't know
instantly. That's my point. Yeah.
No fucking recovery time whatsoever.
Not even a second.
There was a one point. So Gale fucks him up with that jump. Boom, and I gotta keep running because that didn't do nothing. He gets right back up and chasing her more, and she goes out the door, and then we get the gun first, right? And then the bonk she gets him again with a vase across the face. Bam! With the vase. And again, not even a split second. It doesn't even faze him.
I made a joke. I made a joke even to you. Like, I was like, oh, is he down? Because they show him down for, like, as he got hit. Nope, he's not even just down. He springs back up and jumps over the couch. And I was like...
Vaults the couch like it's nothing.
He was like, no, he's not.
I'm sorry, and we keep saying he. It's she. It's the daughter. It's the fucking daughter, which makes this even less believable at this point.
Yeah,
so it's the daughter that jumps there, that's hurtling couches and taking frying pans to the face with no bruising and
nothing.
I mean, that would explain at least why there was no bruising, why we didn't see her until the very end when the reveal, and she doesn't have a single bruise on her face.
That's what, thing. Yeah. And they could have had that. That would have been actually...
Because you don't see her through the rest of the thing, so it would have made sense.
Absolutely could have done that. They should have. That would have made sense.
So she gets bonked there with that. She gets bonked there, and it doesn't even faze her. Jumps up and runs, and then we get the point where Gale like hip tosses her and smashes her through the table. And for some reason, that's not even a blow to the head, but that renders Ghostface unconscious for a minute.
That got, lost her breath for a minute, so.
No, Ghostface wasn't even moving. She was like unconscious.
I'm just kidding, I'm saying.
And Gale like steps on her hand and takes the sword, the knife. Gale steps on her hand and takes the knife, and then we get the...
Too long.
And...
I was like, rookie mistake.
Yeah. So that whole thing when,
What would you do? Would you, I mean, obviously you would get the knife out, but would you rip off the mask really quickly? Because I would.
Because she had to,
Like I would do that.
Yeah, she grabs for the mask.
Before I go to stab. Wouldn't you rip off the mask?
No, I'd stab first and then pull the mask off. I would kill the motherfucker first. I wouldn't even hesitate. I would get that knife. I wouldn't raise up like this. I would just be like, bam! I'd cut the throat.
Yeah, it would have been done.
I wouldn't even, there wouldn't have been none of that.
No.
And then I would have taken off the mask to see who the fuck, who it was.
Yeah.
All right, so let me talk about my other pet peeve about the bodega scene. After Ghostface kills two huge, big-ass dudes, stabs them both with knives, takes them down, he's after these girls, everyone's screaming, and the clerk comes up from behind the counter with a shotgun. Ghostface has his back to him. The clerk has him dead to rights, and every fucking movie they do this shit. Instead of just filling him full of fucking lead, shooting him, he says, hey!
Oh, God.
And waits for Ghostface to turn around! And then Ghostface dodges the bullets as he shoots him. What the fuck? Who the fuck warns somebody? Hey, I'm gonna shoot you, Steph.
I guess a business owner. I don't know.
Hey, I'm gonna stab you. Hey, I'm gonna shoot you with this gun. Bang! Who does that?
Happens all the time.
Oh, so many movies. The favorite one's The Punch. Hey, tap down. Hey, buddy. Pow! Oh my God! Stop it! This shit's so fucking stupid, Hollywood. Stop it. Oh, there's more dumb shit coming, don't worry. Let's go to the apartment. Ghostface shows up in the apartment. And he's going to kill the sister. He's going to fake kill the sister, we find out.
Well, yeah.
This is the first time he shows up.
It's one of the roommates, yeah.
So he's going to... So he goes, they message her, and then, there's the fucking... He sends pictures to all of them that he's choking out...
Quinn, sorry,
yes. Quinn. He's choking out Quinn. He chucks the dead body through, and we get them all cornered in the room, and the boyfriend across the window with the ladder, and we get the scene where they're all climbing across the ladder, and I mean, what's her name was bleeding out worse. That was another thing. Like
that was suspenseful.
It was suspenseful, but why was Mindy bleeding out from an arm cut worse than the Annika was from the gut stabbing twist? Like Mindy, we saw her always like blood. But like, I don't know, man. There should have been.
They weren't really showing a whole lot.
They were not.
Yeah.
They were trying to keep a lot of. And again, something that comes up later that we'll talk about.
We got it.
But that gut shot, and then she's crawling across the ladder, and that was a great kill scene. Like that set piece on the ladder, that was like super suspenseful. And Annika's death was awesome when she falls. And
she didn't just splatter.
No, the head hits the fucking. That was brilliant the way they fucking shot that. And I'm sure they shot it in slow motion with a stunt person kind of just like bonking their head on the side, like they had him. I could just imagine them like rigging the actress like this and just having her be like bonk as she's like lowered slowly, hitting like a fake top and a foam duplicate foam prop top to a dumpster or something like that, and then they cut to the body.
Because honestly, what was that? 2-3 stories tops? Like could live if you fell, you break a lot of bones, few ribs, but could live.
Yeah.
So they kind of put the icing on the cake there.
Yeah, with the headshot and the prosthetics on the. They didn't shy away from showing her face too. No. They went right to like close up on the face of the prosthetic of after the end result of the smash, the face smash on the dumpster. That was brutal.
The head bleeds a lot, and there was a lot of blood coming out. So that was good. I like that.
Yeah, but I figured there were also like her guts would have been bleeding the whole way across that ladder. Oh, that was my other thing that I kind of was like. There was a couple little things in there, but nitpick a little bit. The dresser.
I knew that's where I thought you were going.
Was light enough that Mindy was able to, being stabbed in one arm, and easily just kind of fucking push the dresser in the way of the door. But Ghostface, who was obviously either the dad or the brother. No, it had to be because the brother had the alibi.
Quinn
the brother
was dead on the floor.
Was at Eco. It was at the Econ.
He said that, but
he had a bunch of. He said he had witnesses too. So
I know, but we don't know if they actually checked.
Yeah. We don't know if they checked.
So.
But I suspect it was the dad because he was the one that said, it was kind of hard to switch the body. Yeah. All that kind of stuff. So that was the dad that was able to do that.
I agree.
So that one kind of makes sense. He would be able to shake her off because I don't even think the boy would be able to shake. He might.
I could.
Yeah, he probably could.
I could.
But yeah, there would be a lot more blood all over the place and everything. But there was other thing that got me. Yeah, he struggled so hard once Mindy left the fucking thing and she's already across and he struggled so hard to get that door open even without anybody holding it there.
Well, we gotta make it more suspenseful.
It took him longer to get through that door than it took him to recover from all of his head trauma throughout the entire movie. And he got hit with we didn't even mention yet the knife block. Remember when they go in, because this happened right before when Quinn gets killed. They go in, Sam runs in to grab a knife and the knives are all gone. And while he's stabbing Annika, she runs in with the knife holder, which is this big wooden block. And they're heavy, and clobbers him in the fucking head with it. That was like the first one of the fucking movie of Ghostface taking shots to the head.
A lot of other shots,
So, there was that. And again, Annika barely struggled. Like, it seemed like she was more scared to cross the ladder.
I saw that differently.
Then it was her stomach bothering her,
the only reason I disagree is because she was supposed to go next and she was like, I'm too weak because if you're losing blood that quickly, she was like, I promise you behind you. It was very quickly, but then I said there's no way anyone with that stab wound would even attempt to get across that. But adrenaline can do a lot of things. So I don't want to say that.
You could probably you'd probably be up there. But
you'd be very weak
you'd be
and pale.
Screaming. It'd be,
even if your body.
And I question whether Mindy would even leave her.
Mindy
would never leave her to be the last one across. She pretty much kissed her goodbye. That was like, you're gonna die, hon. Mwah.
Yeah, I thought that
was pretty much it.
I was like, I would never leave. No way.
I wouldn't leave you either. I would push you across the fucking thing. I would roll you over. I'd be like, here, get her. To the people on the other end, here, get her. I'd put you in like a burrito and a fucking sleeping bag and put you, get her.
Or you at least throw me on your back, I feel like.
Well, it said it couldn't take the weight of both of us at the same time.
So you would roll me over.
Well, I'd set you'd get across there before me. I'd make sure that you got over there before I did. You know, especially if you were more injured. Like, she was obviously the more injured one. She wasn't getting across there on her own. Maybe just let her girl die. That's what it was. Poor Anakin.
Totally agree with that, because that was like my first thought too. I was like, no way. She would just believe her that I'm right behind you. Yep. No. Mm-mm.
All right, let's jump to a couple more because we're running out of battery time and we want to wrap this up. We don't want to be at this too long. Let's jump to the ending. Let's get to our ending.
All right, so,
I mean, it just had, like, all throughout this movie, that was, like, one of my biggest problems. People get stabbed, hit, so much stuff happening, and they just... There's no effect. There's no, like, they just get up and run. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. Like, nothing even happened.
I don't even remember when this happened, but Chad getting stabbed. I mean, it was towards the end. But he got stabbed so many times. Blood is coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, he's stabbed like 20 times. You hear the ching, 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 ching. There's two of them double teaming him from both sides. Ching, 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 ching.
My job
was so dead.
My job is to work in a surgery. I work in surgery, and I've done trauma surgery. Chad isn't just coming out in the end with being able to kiss a girl.
Rolling the fuck out. Oh, we found another one over here. Yeah, of course you did, because none of the main characters die, because there's no stakes in this movie.
Did you notice? Because I noticed, like, he didn't have any like, nothing on him. He just had, like, a little, like, robe on and an oxygen mask. I was like, what? They wouldn't even do that. They wouldn't even do that. They would just...
He would have had to have been airlifted out of that shit, like medevac to a trauma center.
Yes,
because he would have had punctured lungs.
No,
he would have fucking all his shit would have been.
That's the stuff
that's just so fucking dumb.
Yeah, it gets me.
So dumb. And again, it sounds like I hated the movie. I didn't hate it, but there's just dumb little things in here that are going to piss me off. Yeah. Like in part 5, you're going to tell me that a teenage girl killed Dewey? Dewey? No! A teenage girl didn't fucking kill Dewey, man. That part doesn't exist in my Scream universe. Oh. Nope. Sorry.
Can we pretend it was Rich? Like, would that help a little bit?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. No. Dewey's still alive as far as I'm concerned, because no teenage girl killed Dewey. No. Physically impossible.
And why the hell would they take him out of this franchise like that?
He probably was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore.
But him and Courtney, they get along with their kids and stuff. Like, they get along. I don't know why he wouldn't. He really doesn't have a whole lot going on.
He doesn't do a whole lot.
Maybe, but I thought that was...
He probably doesn't want to. Anyway, let's get to some more. What other crazy shit? How about when she finally lets her sister go? Oh, we got our buzzing little dude here. She's like, oh, you gotta let me go, Sam. You gotta let me go. Sam, you gotta let me go. And she lets her go.
She's like, I'll take that knife. I can deal with myself.
And Tara drops down onto our boy, what's his name? Ethan. Ethan Landry drops back, and he's got a knife. And as she falls on him, he stabs her in the gut.
And he goes, gotcha.
And he even says, gotcha. Right before she stabs him in the mouth, which is an awesome kill.
Awesome kill.
Awesome fucking kill.
Awesome
Stabbing him in the mouth, and twist the fucking John, and she says, die a virgin. Fuck yeah. It's so awesome. So awesome. That fucking part was so awesome. But
guess what we never see again?
And I don't know whether the directors forgot about it.
I literally think that's what happened. I think that's what happened.
Because Tara got stabbed in the fucking gut, man. But you don't even hear about it again. She's not being seen by the medics at the end. They actually sit and have the sister bonding conversation.
But she is not in any pain.
She's not in any pain. Mm-mm. They sit on the steps before anybody gets there. They're just sitting there having a little chit chat.
Actually, after her medical attention, she just had an arm sling on. And she starts walking down the street.
Yeah. Well, and she
just an arm sling. For her little cut.
And they let her walk home at the end of the movie. Her and her sister just walk off into the sunset because they let people who get stabbed in the gut walk the fuck home.
And people that got stabbed in the gut to run back up to a scene.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Mindy, stab her in the gut, lift her up on a fucking train and jiggle her fucking guts around and shake that shit up and fucking blenderize that shit, liquefy it a little bit. But no, she's going to be stitched up and be able to run the fuck up to the scene of the final crime.
Run.
And be like, hey guys, all ecstatic. Like, they couldn't keep me away, guys. Bitch, no. No one is letting you do that, number one. I have signed myself out for a kidney stone, and they gave me such a hard fucking time for a kidney stone.
Yeah.
There's no way they were letting this chick who got shish kebabbed leave the hospital. And no amount of drugs, I know they filled in. You can see her back as she climbs into the back of the ambulance with the crew after she does her whole thing. They added some ADR, some voiceover work of her saying, you can hear her saying, they put me so full of drugs, I can't feel anything.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, because they realized, oh yeah, damn, we have Mindy running up. She got skewered. Just have her fucking ADR a line in there to say she's all full of drugs, and that'll explain how she's able to run the fuck up with her guts all chopped up.
All right, well, they covered themselves in a weird slasher film fake world version, but
it's no. Chad ain't living from 26 stabs.
Chad
Mindy
ain't living
running
from
up.
blood
Mindy
coming out
might
of his
live, right? But Mindy ain't fucking running up at the end of the goddamn movie. No
what
fucking
did she
way.
Uber, or did she actually run from the hospital?
I don't know. And Uber dropped her off a mile away so she could save some money and jog the rest of the way. She was Mr. Cardio while she was stabbed in the hospital, I guess.
Yeah.
And Jenna Ortega's just magically disappeared. Her gut shot, her gut stab just disappeared and is never even, she's not even hurt. Like, she's just talking to everybody. She's crying about Chad. She's kissing Chad. She's talking with her sister, and she's got the arm sling, but not a single fucking word.
No.
No, she's not on a
No, I think, like, one of my, organs are punctured in any way. Like, there's a lot going on in your abdomen, just saying.
Yeah, and we're probably forgetting some stuff too, I'm sure, because there was so much more. The camera, he gets hit in the head with the camera.
Oh, that one, yeah.
The one with Chad hits one of them. We don't know which one it is, but one of them gets fucking kabonged with this big heavy-ass TV camera from, the museum. Yeah. It's huge. Smashes him, and he says some line too. He says like something, get ready for a close-up. Does he say something like, I don't know.
If he didn't, he should have.
Bam! He fucking hits him with the camera. But come on, man, that's another potential concussion, or at least like slows them down, or like some mark on their face. Yeah, so we get the end reveal when they're taking off all the masks. Nobody has any cuts on their faces, no bruising, no nothing. All these hits that Ghostface is taking, all these punches, and even Chad's even punching them at certain times, like straight on like haymakers.
Oh yeah,
and nobody has a bruise. So you get hit with a giant like butcher block type thing.
Not even a red mark.
You've taken a cast iron skillet. You've taken a giant vase, 80s TV camera, all to the face, and then a couple of haymakers, and there's not a single fucking scratch on any of their faces when they take all these off. You're gonna tell me that there's some kind of padding in the mask? Oh, it didn't look like it.
No,
some
but
kind of helmet or some kind of special material the mask is made. It's Kevlar. I don't know.
The mask is evil, I suppose. I did make that joke. I said, I guess they just, because they got a lot of cuts and bruises when the masks were off, like a lot. Like their faces were cut and bleeding.
She hits her with the brick. She loses teeth. Her face is all busted up, and blood everywhere. Yeah. Quinn's face is all mangled from a hit with a brick, but nobody's got a scratch from the 10 other things that smashed him in the face earlier in the movie.
So, I guess the mask has some type of a
it's not supernatural, man.
No, it's not. But,
supernatural. This isn't. It's not Jason Voorhees. He's not Freddy Krueger. He's just a man in a mask, and I call bullshit. On all
I agree.
I call bullshit. And again, not that we hated the movie.
No, we liked it.
And I think because I liked it so much, it makes me more angry about these things.
Okay, well, let's get off of the many hits that actually didn't turn into bruises and stuff.
Yeah, I get that. The no killing, though, they break the rule.
The no killing, yes.
They break the number one.
That's one.
Well, the number 3 rule, the rule of the franchise is no character safe, no legacy character. Mindy goes through, like, no legacy character, no returning character, nobody is safe, anybody can die, we can all die, blah, blah, blah.
No, because nobody, I mean, that wasn't, for the past movies, that those rules may have.
No, but she said she goes out of her way to say this is a franchise, and the 3rd rule of the franchise is no character is safe.
Yes.
Legacy characters can die. This one can die. She goes through the whole thing, and then we get
none of them
die.
Yeah.
And they all live ridiculously. Like, That's the worst part of it.
Well,
Like,
yeah, they
okay, if
didn't
you
just
want
go
them
to the hospital and go on like life support for a day and then they live. Like they literally were just running and like, okay, officer, a little bit of oxygen, we'll be good.
Yeah,
We'll
I mean,
be good.
at least we
all these
didn't-
stab wounds will heal.
And I did read, I've read a couple things where the director said we didn't want to kill any of the core four because we wanted it to be like a feel-good, uplifting movie at the end, and we wanted it to be about teamwork and family and blah, blah, blah. But that's not what a Scream movie is supposed to be about, man. You're breaking your own rules. You're breaking your own, you're setting the rules, and then you're not you're not delivering, and you're not, adhering to your rules. And the worst part is, like, that's fine if you don't want to kill off your main characters. Then don't stab them 22 times on camera.
Exactly.
And expect me to believe they live.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem more than anything. I mean, yes, I have a problem with making the rule that legacy character can die. And
going against it.
And Gail shouldn't die because you didn't have
Yeah.
Sidney in this movie and you don't know if you're getting Nev Campbell back for the next one, and you already killed off David Arquette because you're fucking dumbasses and you shouldn't have done that either.
Never.
But you already did it. So now Gail is your only current tie. You brought Kirby back, but Kirby was a part 4.
I honestly, if Gail's gone, Gail's
your only tie
she's
to the
holding
original
me
cast.
even on to seeing
Right, so you
future
couldn't
movies.
kill Gail. You knew Gail had to make it. So when the paramedic shows up at her scene, I've got a weak pulse. And okay, cool, Gail's going to survive. That's where I got a little misty-eyed too, when Gail was...
No, I knew she wasn't going anywhere.
When she says that line, tell Sidney that he never got me.
Yeah, I know.
That was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't kill Gail. Again, being the only tie. So it would have had to have
Honestly,
been...
I feel like they're going to eventually kill Gail in one of these, and it's going to be just all new people.
Yeah, I kind of thought...
I think they're going to.
Maybe Kirby could have died, but,
No,
they didn't
because
want to kill her either. She could be the next one to... Since, again, now they brought her back, maybe because they couldn't get Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
And they were like, what are we going to do? We only got one OG.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
But yeah, pretty much in this movie...
Well, okay, so let me just say this because we said we only have one OG. I made a note, and I actually got very excited when I heard the Ghostface killer, Quinn, say...
Oh, yeah.
Stu is my favorite Ghostface if you believe he's actually dead, or if you think he's dead, or something along those lines, which made me think, oh my God, because he wasn't actually dead, and they said it, but we never really saw him die. He was dying, and he was there. He could have been passed out, especially if you can get stabbed 22 times. He was only stabbed once.
I mean, in this world, he's probably alive.
Twice or something.
I wouldn't...
If Matthew Lillard comes back, I'm going to die, and then I'm in it. I'm in it for the end.
Hey, Matthew Lillard, if you're watching, please come back, because we could definitely use you.
Yeah, he's not watching.
Hey, he might be watching.
Hey, well, Stu, come back as Stu, please.
Yeah, she does. She says she has Stu Macher's mask, and she
made a point, and I was like,
favorite. And she says that line, "If you believe he's dead." Yeah.
So I feel like if that's not a tell that's something, maybe they're in negotiations. It's something. There's a reason that they said that, because I've seen that on fan pages where people say that he could come back, at some point, and maybe they would do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be
very
little
excited.
Easter egg. That would be a good way to let's round out. Let's hit a couple of our Easter eggs while we're
okay.
So we had. That was one of the Easter eggs in there. I mean, they had a lot of homages to other movies and franchises too.
So like I brought up earlier, when they were, the Evil Dies Tonight, when they were going onto the subway.
That was great.
There's all these Halloween costumes,
and
you see Michael Myers, but you hear like a bunch of friends
faint, and then it goes
going, Evil Dies Tonight, Evil Dies Tonight. And I looked at him and I said, oh my God, I cannot deal with another movie with people chanting Evil Dies Tonight. That was the worst.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
That was a good one.
The Samara Weaving costume, or like her character costume for the bride.
Yeah, you caught that one.
Bride.
The bride from Ready or Not.
Ready or Not, yeah. It was her back. They kept looking at like the ghost faces on the train or the subway, and it was her white dress with the shotgun like thing over her shoulder, and it had her two little like little braid buns, yeah. And she was blonde. I was like, oh, that's her, yeah.
And that's a cool nod by the directors. They're
because it was right in the foreground, like it was right there.
They absolutely did
very
that
obvious.
on purpose as a little callback to their own movie. That's a very cool Easter egg. I didn't even catch it. That's cool.
I'm surprised.
And there's a ton more in there. We had, they showed Cenobites, and do we see Freddy? I know we got a Jason at one point. We already talked about the Jason Takes Manhattan.
The Shining Twin.
That's the kid's name's Jason too. The killer's name is.
Yes, I did name that. I know when you said that earlier. I did. The very first
Ghostface, who is a killer in the movie, is named Jason.
Yeah.
So if that's not a bit of a call to, and then he goes back to his apartment and is watching Jason Takes Manhattan.
And I didn't even
of an homage to Jason Takes Manhattan, then I don't know what it is.
Notice it. I was
That's I just thought of that now while we were sitting here.
Well, I thought of that. Well,
I was like, wait a minute, his name was
noticed
Jason.
that, but I didn't actually notice what he was watching. But yeah, that was good. What other Easter eggs do we have? I did like just not really an Easter egg, kind of, but I mean it was very in your face. But I did like that they showed the kind of museum to all the past Ghostface.
Oh yeah. The museum was super cool, and they had all like the.
I was like, I want to go there.
From number
yes,
one.
Yeah. Like I wanted to
that's where the camera was, and they had.
I wanted to go there.
From Gail's cameraman had the. I forget what the show was, but it was the show that had the name of the show. I forget what it was. But it was all like 80s-ish too.
Even Kirby's outfit was there that she got stabbed in, and the knife that she got and they just added.
They had the varsity jacket from the boyfriend in the very first one. Mm-hmm. Was it the very first? Yeah. And what was cool was they had the duct tape around the mouth of the mannequin that the fucking jacket was on. That was that was a nice touch. Because they could have just had the jacket and you might not have realized who it was, but having the duct tape on the mouth was where'd you go, that's the fucking boyfriend by the pool.
Yep. It was very, I found myself even watching that scene, I wanted to pause it and be like, oh my God, that's right, that's right.
Randy's shirt from the video store.
Yes, it was cool. I did like that. I really liked that part.
Yeah, that was very meta.
Extremely. And I did like how often they said it's a franchise so many times, because it was kind of making fun of itself.
Absolutely. They definitely. We're sitting here and we're nitpicking a lot, but we both really enjoyed the movie a lot as well. It's you can do both.
Yeah. As we get to the end, I do want to nitpick just one more thing because because our three killers are Richie's from the last killer, Richie's father, sister, and brother that we didn't know, and they're all revenge killing on his behalf. We kind of were talking and we said, the girl and the guy were just roommates with them, and okay, maybe they could have used aliases, we don't know their real names, but the father was a police officer. Mm-hmm. He was like a sheriff or sergeant or something kind of high up, a detective. You mean to tell me that at least Kirby, the FBI agent now, could not have found that this cop that she was working with was the last serial killer's father?
Yeah, how did that
and you have Sam that's so I'm so protective of my sister. I won't even let her go to parties alone, but then she doesn't do background checks
check on the guy or the girl who moves in to be their roommate.
Yeah. No. So, but
they try and address it by saying, "Oh, we put it."
It was very easy. But the father is what really got me. You don't know that this cop is the father
of a serial killer.
Public knowledge. Who was an actual close with the son, appearingly.
Yeah.
So it's not like he was this hidden all the other ones, Sam being Billy's illegitimate daughter, totally believable, and Nev Campbell, Sydney's character with what's his name, Roman, being her estranged brother that was like hidden because her mom was a little slut or whatever that he called her. Like all these, and even the second one, it was Loomis's mother and the other brother and whatever. Like all those connections, I was like, yeah, you wouldn't really know. And it was kind of like building up to that point. This one, everyone would know that this police officer, detective, sheriff, whatever you want to call him, his son was at least a suspected serial killer.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like it would just have been known, and it at least have been known by them. Like, don't you do research on your boyfriend who just tried to kill you?
Sam was so protective. Wouldn't you do a background check on the chick that's about to move in and find out that's his sister?
Or at least a Google search, maybe.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it took. Like literally, it's all it took. Who was the family? Who held the funeral?
Especially in this day and age, you're not hiding that information. But
Yeah.
It's already out there. Like, and that's what I was saying too. Like, she was in part 5. She's Richie's boyfriend. She never saw his Facebook page or his Instagram with pictures of his family and his brothers and sisters. Picture of his dad and him. Him and his dad were supposed to be close. She never saw. She was his girlfriend and never saw a picture of his dad and him that were so close. They built this Scream museum together. Like.
Or even knew, hey, my dad's a cop.
I guess he would hide it from her if he was
That's what I went through. Okay, that's fine. But after he died, it would have came out who his family was. I'm sure they would have had a funeral, and they were saying that he was kind of innocent. There's all this back and forth. Mm-hmm. So it would have came out. It would have came out that he was at least somebody in power. Like. So, I mean, hear about politicians and, their kids and police officers' kids all the time. On them.
But then they also bury a lot of stuff, too. So,
not like this.
He wasn't like...
This would not... No, he was like a regular...
Yeah, he wasn't like a politician or somebody that could get it buried like that. He wasn't that powerful or influential. He was just a cop. He was just, at the most, he was like a detective. I
wonder where the mom is.
Who, Sam's mom?
No, Richie's mom. Sam's mom might come back.
Sam's mom, he says she's
No,
gone.
I know where Sam's mom is. She says it, and I'm saying...
Richie's mom, I'm sorry.
Richie's
mom's dead. Remember, he said his whole family was gone.
I know what he said.
That whole family was, I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's wrap this one up.
Yeah.
So, overall, loved it.
Loved to hate it.
Hated certain things about it. I don't know. I guess I can't say I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed most of it, but a lot of it left me scratching my head. Yeah.
No, yelling at the screen, more like.
Yeah, like the first time through, I didn't pick up as much, but I think on the rewatches, there's a lot more questions that come up. Like, it's a bit of a head scratcher when you get to the reveal the first time. You're like, what? Okay, I guess. But now that I go back and watch it again, and I'm like trying to put each one in the mask at the different points in the movie, I'm like, no. Mm-hmm.
You picked the wrong person at the wrong time, even.
Yeah.
To try to make it work.
So. It's tough to go back and rewatch this one. I guess it's better watch just once and just be like, it's just a stupid movie.
That's kind of how I feel right now. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of suspense. I actually held my ears at some points where I was actually getting scared.
Yeah. The kills were brutal, man, when they had we forgot the doctor. The doctor kill.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one, too.
Dude, that was a great one because...
I can always edit this and chop it up and put it earlier.
So the doctor kill, when the therapist, knocking on the door, it's a little early for Halloween.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't get close to that glass. Don't get close to that glass. And and I was like,
wham, and then bang through the nose.
Oh, I know.
I liked how,
or it was like here. It was like here.
Yeah, it was like in the
I forgot. I just
cavity,
remember
cheek area.
Yeah. There was a lot of face stabs.
Yeah.
A lot of face stabs.
Yeah, that was, there's some, the ending with
and
the
the
eye.
ending, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. She finally gives it to him in the eye.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of good brutal kills in here. And they don't shy away from them. They don't shy away from the violence, and they don't turn away from, they don't do any of that fall off camera kind of stuff.
No.
They actually stay on the body and the face on that dumpster fall scene. And
A lot of special effects.
And we see all the knife going in and the twist and there's a lot of really good special effects. They combine, again, we're seeing a good use of digital and practical effects, because, a lot of these are going to be, a lot of times when you're seeing those multiple stabs, it's just a handle, and they will go and put a digital blade on.
Yeah.
The blade will be digital, and that's where you just get sound effects in the digital blade, and that's your stab.
Wait, they don't use the ones that retract anymore? No? Oh, that was fun. I used to use that.
No, they look so corny. No. No retractable knives anymore. We don't use retractable knives.
Darn.
Yeah, you get, we still have rubber knives that'll bend, but usually...
then you bend it.
It's digital. Yeah, you get
that would be worse.
You get like your prop knife that's a real knife that's dull that you'll hold as like hero shots, close-ups, and you'll never put that against your... you'll never use that in any action scenes or anything like that. You'll have a... If there's any chasing, running, fighting, anything like that, there'll be a rubber double that you'll use. That'll just be
rubber
painted.
Double.
They'll be painted.
I like that. Rubber double.
Bet you do. When you actually stab, they usually will just have a knife that's the hilt with no blade. But you'll, or it'll be a rubber knife with like a little piece of blade, so it looks like the blade's only going in like halfway, and they can. And you just take it and.
I never knew that.
Yeah. The wonders of digital filmmaking.
See, I'm very impressed by that.
I mean, they used to do it the old school way, and they would angle it so it just looks like you're stabbing, and we would fake it and all that. But now with the dawn of
through the armpit.
Yeah, stab them in the armpit. You stick the spear in, and your partner goes and closes. The spear goes in the armpit, and they go and they grab it, and then it looks like the spear's sticking out. Yeah,
like Pee Wee Herman's character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, good use of digital and practical effects. Lots of blood, lots of violence, some gore. Just too many people getting up and walking around after being violently attacked.
Like not even barely going into the ambulance, like barely.
Yep, that would be it. But other than that, solid. I guess I got to go like 3.5 knives.
Yeah, we do stabby knives. We do stabbies.
We'll do stabby knives for this one. Or we could do like Ghostfaces. I do 3.5 Ghostfaces. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Don't do that sound.
3.5.
No, slasher, we do
stabby knives.
Stabby knives.
3.5 stabby knives. How many stabby knives did you give it?
I kind of think, I think I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm at 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say 3 if it wasn't for some of the blood and stuff.
No, like
it'd be close to a 4, man, because
I disagree.
2/3. The first 2 acts are like a 4. First 2 acts are solid. The first 2 acts of the movie are pretty solid, even with like you let some of that movie shit slide, that phony ass movie shit. It's more when you get to the reveal and the ending with nobody dying. That's what kind of.
No, things were. I don't know. I mean, it was fun. It was in the moment, but I still think I'm not going towards a 4 yet. 4 is like good movie in my book, so I'm gonna stick with 3.5. Watch it. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend you watch.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a 3. I'll do 3 slashy knives.
All right, and I'm 3.5. Yeah.
I'll do 3.5.
Oh, there you go. That's what you originally did. I think that's good.
Yeah,
good.
3.5.
The kills were great.
Because it's
it
got
was
good
fun.
kills, good characters.
Also, anything with the
nostalgia vibes are strong. Yeah. And there was a lot that worked. It was just the reveal and everything. There was a lot of question marks. But definitely a fun watch. Check it out now, Paramount Plus. And let us know what you think. I'm sure we missed some inconsistencies.
Yeah.
If you want to comment below and tell us what you thought of everybody getting up and walking from after being stabbed. If you want to throw if you want to point out any of the Easter eggs we missed, throw them in the comments as well. Leave a comment down there. I know I missed. I can't
there
think
was
of
so
a few.
many.
Yeah, there's so much stuff in there.
And also, tell us what you think they may do with the franchise now, because I'm kind of curious, because I got very excited at that. Stu might be back. So
Stu might be back, and at the very end, we are left with Sam leaving the mask at the scene of the crime. Like, she's not going to follow in her dad's footsteps, and she's kind of giving up the ghost face.
But what did I say? I said, there's definitely a serial killer that wants to be a serial killer, but he doesn't know he's a serial killer, waiting, and just so happens to realize it when he sees that on the ground. So he's going to pick it up, and there's going to be a whole other Ghostface. Yep. And maybe it's Stu. I can only dream, right?
I suspect that the cop that you see walking past towards the mask, he's like 60, he's like a beat cop. I think he's Stu's great uncle, and he finds the mask and picks it up, of course, and instead of putting it in evidence, he says, my great nephew used to have a mask like this. And he goes and finds Stu, who lives as a recluse now, after being stabbed so many times and barely living. And he gives him the mask, and Stu's back, baby.
I swear to God, if you were right, I might stab you myself. Because he has a habit of being right about these things.
Well, if you stab me in a sequel, if it's my first appearance, I will probably die. But if it's my second appearance, I will live.
Damn. Yeah. He's going to live then. He's been here before.
Yeah.
All right. So 3.5 stabs.
3.5 stabs.
Overall.
Yep.
Liked it.
All right, folks. That'll do it for Deadsville Horror Talk. We are no longer live. We are pre-recorded, as you see. So make sure you watch, share, like, comment, subscribe, boop, boop, hit all the bells and whistles and all that good stuff. And come back and join us for more fun and shenanigans, where we'll do more of this every week. And feel free to suggest some movies in the comments you want us to review. We're always going to try and check out newer stuff. But, there's not always a glut of new horror movies out there, although we've been spoiled recently.
I know.
Sometimes we got to dig into the crates. We got to go onto the shelves and pull out the DVDs or VHSs and watch something old and go and do an old horror talk.
VHS.
Do an old horror talk episode.
I think we should.
A little retro. We'll call it like horror talk retro or something.
You love that word, retro.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, I like nostalgia.
All right. Well, hey, shout out real quick to Underground. As you see, I'm wearing my...
Yeah, there you go.
Stay spooky.
Yeah.
As I end all of my shows with my Stay Spooky Frankenstein shtick now.
Oh, it's a new shtick.
It's my new shtick for my shorts.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, say goodbye, Steph Infection.
All right, bye. And I wore the wrong shirt for this, but that's all right. Freddy's, a.k.a. the Jasons. It's all fitting, right?
Nothing to do with Ghostface whatsoever.
Nothing. But I
have bought her Ghostface shirt for Christmas. She owns at least one, maybe more. I think more.
Okay.
Didn't wear them.
I forgot.
Knew we were doing this.
Yep. Well, we'll just have to do an old Scream at some point.
Yep.
And it won't be 4.
As long as it's not 5. Because
Or
I will
5.
fucking burst a blood vessel when we discuss the Dewey death. Because that's bullshit!
No. Nope. Can't watch that again. So,
nope.
Nope.
All right. That's it. Scream Hearts.
Yes. Bye, Scream Hearts.